Goed, dan zijn we dan met de pitpost. En ja, zoals beloofd, het is toch rondgekomen. We hebben het voor elkaar. Ze zitten gezellig met elkaar te keuvelen. A very warm welcome to both Jos Verstappen and Micheal Schumacher. Micheal, you set another record. We've had 3,300 questions for this. I don't think we've got time for that.
I was just going to ask whether we have to go through.
No, I've taken about 7 or 8 which go between the two of you. One question, my first one comes from me. When we asked you to do this, you said, yes, okay, fair enough, I want to do it. But only if Jos is there as well. Why? Normally it's only one guest. But it's fine, and he's here, so...
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's obviously good that we can see each other together again, because it has been quite a while we haven't been able to see each other. So there's always good reasons to do things like that.
Well, fair enough. I'll make it easy for you. We've kept everything in English. Jos and I will talk in English as well. Most of the questions are for both of you. First one comes from a guy named Frans. He lives in Loosdrecht. Frans, it's not your dad. It's not your dad. And he says, if two friends discuss their biggest passion, every detail will pass every now and then. With the friendship you have, can you really discuss all technical details? Will you have a good suspension? Do you talk about those really things, or do you avoid those conversations? And he says here, or you just discuss the nice female roundings that pass both of you on the beach. Don't know where he got that. How does that work?
You want to start, or?
Yeah, you start.
I mean, we don't go into details. I think we just talk briefly about racing.
Yeah.
I mean, this year we haven't talked about anything. So no, but it's just very briefly over Formula 1 cars, and the rest is more friendship, family, children.
But when you were teammates, it was different.
Certainly it was different, because there it's necessary that you exchange detailed information when we have been working in Benetton together. But, you know, we spend quite a lot of time together so far, and that time we do spend together, we need to discuss go-kart stuff, because it's so intense what we do with go-kart that the time runs out and we haven't been able to pass to the subject of Formula 1.
I've got a question on that later.
And actually about beach, we don't spend much time on the beach, so there's no chance for girls to run around us.
Yeah, because that's what I've heard.
Except our own ones.
That's what I heard about you as well. If you go to the beach, you don't like it. After 3 days, you do stuff. You can't lie around on the beach, can you?
Well, last time we were on the beach, I think it was in Malaysia, where we had to play football.
Yeah.
with my friend Raymond there as well. Where he was completely destroyed.
He got kicked. Yeah, okay, that's how it works.
Not kicked, only exhausted, I think.
Okay. Next one comes from a girl, Claudia Zeppin. She lives in Amsterdam, and she says, hi guys, rumor has it that you often kart against each other. I was wondering, what's the score at the moment? Can you still surprise each other with some spectacular moves? And she hopes that you guys will be racing against each other again in Formula 1 next year, so it's more to you.
Yeah,
What's the score?
I don't know the score. I only know the last time. The last time I was the loser. We were in Genk in the rain, and well, I think I learned something.
It's good. I mean, we're always challenging for each other in the dry and in the wet, and last time for me was good in the wet. I know Genk a bit better than he did.
Actually, it was good with the left time. Well, I mean, I went faster, you went faster. I saw that, I went faster again. He went faster again. It was really pushing each other.
Yes. How important is karting to still have? Because people tell me that the feeling on a real good kart is as close as possible to racing an F1 car. Is that true? The speed, you're low to the ground, the direct movement, you have no downforce, no? And there's more tires. And
I don't think it doesn't matter what kind of race car or go-kart you drive, you're still on the limit. And I think that's good. Of course, Formula 1 is a bit quicker and a bit tougher on your body, but I think racing and whatever kind of go-kart, or you name it, or racing car, I think is good.
Michael, is karting also fitness? Is karting about fitness?
In these days, yes, because you have so much rubber in the race on the circuit that, especially the arms, they get tired. Because in Formula 1 in these days we have power steering, so it's not so tiring for the arms, but it's tiring for the rest of the body. But in karting...
Yeah, power steering.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're strong, I mean, you don't need it.
You say power steering, and you say, if I look at you after a race, if you step out of the car, there's no sweat whatsoever. if he's done 5 laps in the car, he's red like a lobster. I know that. How does that go?
No, I always used to call him my tomato. You should make some advertise for tomato. I remember in Brazil.
It's
But
whatever
I think
kind of sport we do.
Yeah.
He's never sweats,
Never.
and I sweat like a pig. Let's say like that.
But
It's just a type of body.
Exactly. There is human beings that sweat more than others with having the same fitness. I mean, that's not a doubt.
That's why I'm bigger than you. It's got nothing to do with food.
No, that's a different matter. I mean, but he is fit. I mean, we train together, and he sweats while we do the same sort of exercise, and I don't. And it means that certain humans sweat more than others.
For people who don't understand Formula One, they think it's an easy thing, but it's not.
Yeah, but you said it's only me, the rest is sweating, so then I guess they know what's happening.
True. All right, we go to another girl. Her name is Jutta Frey. She lives. This is a nice little city in Holland. Can you try that? Hippolytushoef.
Hippolytushoef.
It's even difficult for us.
That's in Holland.
Oh, yeah, that's in Holland.
Is it?
I'll first explain that she's got the vraag in de question of the week. Dat betekent dat Jutta, dat dit de vraag van de week is, dat jij vanaf volgende week Race Report elke week op je deurmat krijgt. Daar mag je blij mee zijn. The question is in German, so we swapped to German for a sec, and maybe you can do it.
Schön, dass du dich im holländischen Fernsehen mit Jos sehen lässt. Was mich interessiert ist, dass du hast schon 2 Teams zur Weltspitze verholfen. Denkst du, dass so etwas auch zum Beispiel mit Minardi gehen würde?
Back to English.
Back to English.
Back to English.
Okay. So whether the same what has happened with Benetton and Ferrari would be able to happen
Would that be possible?
with Minardi? If the same people there in Ferrari would be in Minardi, yes. I mean, but they are not. I mean,
It depends from the budget, I guess.
yeah, they need the same sort of money, yes, to pay the people to stay there, no doubt. But the point is that it's the environment, it's the whole team. It's not a single person. It's not Ross Brawn or Rory or Jean Todt or myself. It's all together, and with all the number of hundreds of people we have around us, and that's if you do have them. The right spirit, then you do it with every team.
How did you create it? Did you talk to them to come with me? Did you have to lure them into it? Or did they say, well, he's there, I want to be there as well? How much of that comes from you personally as well?
I wouldn't want to put too much on my personal side, because people, they don't work every day with me. In Formula One, we drivers, I think we have sort of the best job. We turn there at the weekend, we come several times for testing, but the engineers, the mechanics, they have to spend day and night, Saturday and Sunday in the factory and work very hard to give us the best package. And they sort of have to know whether the environment is the right environment for them. For sure, if they have sort of guarantee for a certain amount of success, it helps. And maybe I was a sort of guarantee.
Oh, very good. Is that one of the reasons, Jos, that sometimes in Aeros there were more problems because the environment kept changing and new things kept changing? And if you look back now, because you're a bit further away from them.
Yes, and as well the facilities, and to keep the good people together, and that was always the problem. I mean, if we had somebody good, Tom was difficult to them, or he couldn't keep them because there wasn't enough money, or
I just want to say, if you don't pay, the good people go. that's natural.
That's true.
Right. That's why I'm still
That's
here.
why I'm gone.
Renze de Graaf lives in Dokkum. He asked a question together with a friend of his, Peter Walsweer. What do you both think about... there's a lot of going on about tobacco sponsoring him in Belgium and whatever. But the risk now is that the Belgium Grand Prix, as a Spa, may drop out of the calendar in the future. What do you think about this? By the way, he also asked you, do you know where he can get the cap with the 5 stars and the 2000 on the front? There's one really close. I can nick it.
Shall we first go to the first question?
Yeah, first Spa. What if Spa drops from the calendar? What does that do to the sport?
I mean, everybody, all the drivers love to drive in Spa because of Eau Rouge, the long circuit, the fast corners. It's just a driver circuit, and I think it would be a shame if they couldn't race here anymore. And yeah, I think everybody would be sad.
You agree?
Yeah, no, I can't agree more. But honestly, the last 2 or 3 years, there has been discussions of Spa disappearing, and we're still here. So
Should be politics, probably.
maybe Burning is trying to increase his salary or something. You never know.
All right. Where can he get the cap?
Well, in the shops.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Wherever they sell them.
Apparently they're not there in Holland yet, so maybe you can make him a retailer in Holland.
I have nothing to do in the moment. So.
So you do work together then. Okay, Nita Bratschin lives in The Hague. Her husband travels a lot as well, and she says, how do you make time for your family, you both, during a Formula One season? How do you do that?
I think he has a lot of time now. Huh?
Yeah, he does.
It's no
But
problem.
during a Formula One season,
I mean, for me, my life never has been as busy as Michael's, I guess. Still, you know, you have your races. You have to be on the track on Thursday. We didn't test as much as he does, so for me it's a lot easier than for Michael. Yeah. And for me, in 2 weeks, it's 5 days at home, so it's not too bad.
How do you do it? How do you give? The Americans have a nice expression for that. How do you give quality time to your family? How do you do that?
I think we are in the luxury that the time we have at home, we can give 100% to our family. Whereas if you have a normal job, you go out in the morning, come back in the evening, hardly you see your kids. It's different with us. We're 3-4 days on the road, then we for 2-3 days at home, we again for 2-3 days on the road, then we again at home. So it's a reasonable schedule where you have a nice and good family life. At least that's what was important to me, and Ferrari has been able to juggle the schedule in the way that I don't have too many side activities and have private time, because the amount I spend maybe more testing, Jos had to probably go for sort of sponsor functions in smaller teams. That's what you have to do, and I think they're much more tough than doing testing or racing.
Do you like being a dad? Is it good?
Oh, fantastic!
Good.
Yeah.
I know. But
I mean,
all right. This one is from Tom Fahner. He lives in Rijswijk, and he says, it's said that most of today's drivers were also a bit engineers. Huh?
Sorry? What?
Being a today's driver, you're also a bit of an engineer. How do you two, as for him, the best drivers in the world, do acquire these engineering knowledge? Do you do that by experience or by study? So he thinks there's much more engineering than just driving. Or do you say, well, we just have the guys to do that, and I tell them what I feel, and they explain that to the engineering side? What do you know about your car? In a way, what do you know about your technical side?
I think it is important to understand the principle, but in all honesty, what is available on electronic information and equipment, I have honestly to say I don't know how you achieve all the functions. I know what they do for me and what I would like them to do for me, and I can, I guess, express myself enough to the engineers so it improves the situation. Yeah. And that's the important thing, that you have the basic mechanical understanding of a car. I mean, we both have been doing go-karts for so long, which gives you the basic idea already, and then we go through sort of various stages and make our personal life experience.
And you feel as well if something is wrong, even, you know, if you're driving, you know how the car should be, if it is good, and if there's just slightly you're wrong, you notice the thing, and then you explain what you hear or what you feel, and they know exactly where I have to find.
But it's also said that sometimes you hear things in the engine. You say, the engine sounds whatever, and then the engineer...
No, it is important that what Jos said, that you have to feel and notice if something is wrong, and it is even better if you can give clear explanation on what could be the reason for what you feel. So it's much more easy for them to arrive at the target.
Final question, Hans Zweers from Duiven. You're both a father. What would you do if one of your kids says, I want to be a Formula One racer? Would you encourage it, or would you say, get it out of your heads, don't want to do this?
We have never had any sort of argument in our friendship. I think this could be the first time we could have some argument if our two would be racing each other.
Because you want not to be
very similar age, so for sure they will compete to each other if they grow up and decide to go into go-karts.
Okay, but I think horse riding or golf is a much better sport for our kids, isn't it?
Yeah, or play tennis.
Dangerous
play golf.
as well. Horse riding is dangerous. If you drop off a horse, you're in deep trouble.
No, but for me, if it really wants to, I mean, Formula One is very far away, and you never know what happens after 15 years. But if I really will help them, whatever he wants to play. If he wants to play football, I do everything I can to get the best team or whatever. And it's the same in go-kart or tennis or whatever.
Well, thanks very much both for your time. Time flies when we're having fun. That's what we always say. It's about 12, 13 minutes. We've been chatting away already. Lots of luck here this weekend in Spa. Lots of luck with whatever Huub is doing for you. And I hope he'll be successful, because I like him back.
Oh yeah, we all do. I mean, if you see the number of fans he has around the world, it's very...
With the nice T-shirts. I don't know if you see them. But
No, I haven't seen them, but I don't look at these things at least. But no, it's quite amazing, and I would be obviously more than happy if Jos is back for personal reasons as much as for business reasons, and for his own comfort, obviously. Time will tell.
All right. Thanks very much.